Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your favorite time of the week, wrestling chat with friends.
Meow,
As
meow, meow, meow,
always, meow,
meow.
meow, meow, meow. As always, I am Megan Rickman Blackwood, your favorite heel in heels, and I am joined by my real go-to partner in this, Cheats Two Belts. You got your two belts today?
I don't have
Two
any
belts
belts
today?
today. I don't have
Why don't
any
you have any
belts today.
belts, man? You're just like you're messing the gimmick
So
up, bro.
so Cam and myself are getting ready for Cheetah Mania, which
Oh,
kicks off Cheetah Mania kicks off tomorrow, which is the WrestleMania of all of his action figures. So Cheetah
ooh, I'm down
Mania
for that.
kicks off tomorrow. We are getting ready for day one of WrestleMania on Saturday. We will be on the road driving to Lord knows where. It's a 10-hour drive for spring break starting. So we will not see night two live because we will be travel in transit.
Hmm.
But two belts, Cheetah Mania. I think tonight is Wale Mania.
Ooh,
So if anybody's familiar with Wale Mania, I'm sure you are. But it is tonight in Texas. It's a lot going on. WrestleMania weekend. I'm ready.
you are ready. And we're always like, I'm always excited to see the tweets of like the setups. I need to get him and Langston together because Langston does like some super elaborate setups where I have to sit for a minute and really like embrace everything that's happening because it's like a minimum of like 40 guys. It has to be. You can't
So
just do a two guy setup
no.
anymore.
So
It's
we've
not
made
it's not
we've
about
made
that
a
like
card. We made a card for Cheetah Mania. Cameron's written it out. We have main events. We have an Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We have
ooh.
what he doesn't know is that we have special guest action figures that he doesn't know exist yet that are gonna run in during Cheetah Mania. So I've got some
This is
surprises.
amazing.
We've got some surprises up our sleeve.
I hope we're previewing that too tonight.
Right? Can
Oh
we
no,
we need
I'll
to
ask
get
him.
you like a whole setup so that you can film these for us.
Uh,
They got to
uh,
go on the WCWF YouTube channel. I think
we'll
this is
see.
something that has to happen.
I'll ask him to bring his card in a little bit.
All right. Well, your intro took really long, so
It
I'm
was
going to
long,
jump up off
very
you
long.
now. Next in the building, we have our very special or very knowledgeable friend that has been jumping in and joining in since Ty has been taking a little bit of time off. Elliot, the collector. How
Meow,
you
meow, meow,
doing today,
meow.
Elliot?
Hey, yo. I'm doing great. For my collection tonight, I have brought a photo I have of myself, my brother, and the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Boo.
I know we're not fans of him, but it was still a big moment to meet at the time one of my idols. He's no longer one of my idols, but there's my collection for the night. I'm excited, raring to go. The showcase of the Immortals WrestleMania weekend. It's the one weekend a year where even WWE can't screw it up.
Oh.
Sorry, I got like cut off for a second, but I'm here and I'm all for the like pictures with wrestlers from our olden days. We had the of course the CM Punk and MJF picture. And then more recently, who was the one they showed on AEW? I'm trying to remember. It was
Sammy
Jericho.
and
Who was
Sammy
it?
Guevara at one point. They showed that.
There's like I'm in love with all the like when I was a kid and now I'm a wrestler. Langston wants to be a wrestler when he grows up, and I have a bunch of him with people, and so like I'm kind of fingers crossed for a John Moxley feud sometime in the future. Cheats, do we want to go ahead and bring it? We have some other guests with us today because what is wrestling chat with friends without good friends? Do we want to go ahead and bring everybody else
We
in? How are you feeling?
we do. We need to bring in our special guest sitting in a parking lot in California somewhere.
California
Friend
King
friend
McCoy.
friend of the show, Kane McCoy. Kane, how are you feeling?
I am feeling wrestle-tastic. That is the word of the day, restastic. Listen, some of us wrestling fans become jaded after some time, especially in the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of watching professional wrestling or sports entertainment. But WrestleMania is our Super Bowl. It is our Christmas or a Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, if that's your thing. Uh, that reminds us reminds us of yesteryear and those good times. So WrestleMania, this is 38, right? We're not supposed to say their age no more. That's a very Hollywood thing. Like it's WrestleMania 38, but it could play WrestleMania 20. It could pass as WrestleMania 20. But it's
Still
just
got a young face.
And I've seen 30 plus WrestleManias. So for me, it reminds me of when, I had hope in my life and I was naive and hopeful for the world. And now I'm just kind of a guy who opens a beer and enjoys 2 days of professional wrestling.
You definitely gotta you gotta appreciate when you advance in an age to like your Stone Cold level. Like just don't slide into like Mankind. So if you can just stay in Stone Cold, you're doing good. But if you start pulling socks out, we're gonna be a little concerned about you, friends.
Yeah. I mean, if I start just reaching and pulling anything out, cut my camera.
And we'll see how this goes because Stone Cold will be back this weekend in action.
That's right.
In action.
We'll see.
Megan, we want to
I have so many WWE thoughts. I told you I couldn't keep my face straight. I was like, yo, should I sit out this week?
No, you don't have to. But I'm glad you didn't because we actually have a brand new friend. And it's the premise of this show is for us to highlight other friends, podcasts, accounts that are doing amazing, amazing things. And we want to bring in our new friend, first time on the show, the homie Blue from the Mixed Tag Show. They've been doing it big. And welcome to Wrestling Chat with Friends.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. Definitely.
Do you have a gimmick?
Super excited to have you. Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. So everybody on here has a gimmick, Blue. Like, what's your go-to gimmick?
I don't know. I like to play heel. I don't like to go with the crowd. I'm the indie guy. I'm trying to be the indie guy. I'm trying to learn more about indies. I guess that's my gimmick currently.
I love it.
Indie Blue. I'm here for it.
Doing flippy floppy flip stuff. That's your gimmick.
Hey, with finesse, right?
I'm with it. Okay, so you guys know how we start our show every single week. We always got to start with what we're popping for. What's got us going? What got the biggest pop out of you this week? Elliot, go ahead and kick us off.
Well, this is just sort of a easy one this week. There was a great AEW show yesterday. Raw had a adequate go home Raw. I'm sure there'll be a pretty decent go home SmackDown. But because of the week, I am popping for WrestleMania 38. I don't pop often, but in lieu of trying to wedge something else in there, we're going to stay sort of topic focused. I am popping for the upcoming weekend, 2 days, big crowd, Jerry World. You hope that everything they've worked for in the last year come together successful this weekend. And I'm popping for eternal optimism that we'll have a banger of a weekend.
Well, I guess that's a sufficient thing to pop for this week. That's the kind of thing you're into.
As Megan size.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like the ultimate hater this week, so I'm just putting that out there. If you've ever seen this show before, I do not care for the McMahon product, the McMahon family, their values, or what they stand for.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Are we going to get bigger? How big can this show get? You're ready. All right.
Hola, mojito.
We've got to keep some type of order. Megan, I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, but
I can't see anything.
Mo and Ali has joined the show as well as our WrestleMania preview. But Mo and Ali, I'm going to let you know right off. We'll do what you're popping for, but our special friend is our homie Blue from the Mixed Tag Show, and we got to get into that story as well. So we'll keep going, Megan, but we'll try to keep it under order.
Okay, so hold on, I got to take notes because I can't see all y'all. So now I've got California Kane, I've got Mo. Mo, what's your gimmick?
No words barred.
No words barred.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, is that like y'all? You had a gimmick last time. I feel like we established like a good gimmick that wasn't just the name of the podcast.
I can't remember what the gimmick was, though.
Dimension Mo in the building. Meow, 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 meow. And then we also have Ali. Ali has taken over Ty's spot of gimmick incoming. So that's gonna be where we're at.
True.
Okay, so we're gonna go through our pops. We're gonna get our pops out of the way, and then I am very excited to talk about the mixed tag show. So Blue, go ahead and jump in for us. You are our guest. We should have let you go first. That's my bad. What this week got you? Like, what was the ultimate pop for you this week?
The ultimate pop for me this week is not WWE. I'm gonna put that out there. Right
Make it happen, Blue. Make it happen, Blue.
It's not WWE.
He said, I'm gonna tell you what it ain't.
It's everything but WWE. I'm looking forward to this wrestling packed weekend. I have a schedule put together so I can watch what I need to watch, from GCW to Ring of Honor to there's so much wrestling going on this weekend. I told my wife, good thing I'm on paternity leave. I told her, this weekend I'm gonna be watching wrestling a lot. So if you see me in the room, if you need my help, just let me know. I'll come grab one of the kids or something, and we're good. But definitely, what's popping me this weekend is wrestling, just in general. Real wrestling.
There's
wrestling.
so much going on. Like I am very thrilled that I have lots of other options of stuff to look at this weekend instead of WWE. All right, let's keep it going. Kane McCoy, what you popping for this week?
Shout it, I am popping for the return of Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor, which I was going to go to, but as I was purchasing tickets at 3 a.m, I literally fell asleep on the couch as I was buying tickets. And I was like, did it go through? And it didn't. It was still queuing up. And then the next day, Tony Khan announced that he was buying Ring of Honor, and the price started jumping like Jordan. Trap House jumping like Jordan. It went through the ceiling, however you would call it. So I was like, I guess I'm not going. That was the only thing I was interested in. I wanted to see the John Gresham Bandito unification match, which I'm excited about. But now it looks like FTR and Briscoes is going to take that over. So I'm excited to see FTR Briscoes, which is going to be incredibly violent. I believe it's going to be very violent and look like a 1980s NWA match. Big, just Rock and Roll Express versus, Four Horsemen, Tully, and R. Anderson vibes is what I'm getting with that. So it's going to be wrestling going on with that. So the return of Ring of Honor, possibly Cesaro or Suzu, no syllables, just consonants in his new name, may be debuting for Ring of Honor or AEW adjacent, however you want to call it now. So it's going to be a really dope card. So I'm excited for that.
I'm sorry, sidebar. Did you hear that Tully's gonna be managing a new wrestler?
Ooh, no.
Will be Suzu.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
That's
interesting.
He's supposed to. What's the guy's name? Black Ninja or Ninja Mask?
Yeah, Black Ninja. He's like Ninja. I think he's like Ninja Mask or something like that. Somebody
it was on Bloodsport earlier today with GCW without a mask. I don't know what's
Wrestling weekend. You don't know what to expect. Everything's going to be insane and amazing. And Jay Lethal, who's Jay Lethal up against tomorrow? It's Jay Lethal and
Lee Moriarty.
Lee Moriarty. That's the one that I was like, this is going to be a banger. I'm really excited to see that match.
Should we pop if Jay Lethal actually wins a match? Because I would. At this point.
Jay Lethal win what? No.
They're doing Jay Lethal dirty over there. I need him
to
get a win.
We'll talk about that later. I think he had a great match against Mox last night, and the crowd was with him, so I don't know. I mean, I guess you would want him to win. I'm like, what more do you want?
They were with him when he got up off the canvas. All right, whose turn is it next?
Moving right along. Ali, what are you popping for this week?
Well, I know it's popular to bash on WWE, and I love some WWE bashing, but I gotta say I'm a shameless Becky Lynch fan. I'm popping for Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair.
There you
go. I know the build-up isn't as great as we wanted, and I also think Bianca's so special and amazing that it kind of saddens me a little bit that there's some criticism around that. But still, I'm excited to see them go out. I'm excited to see them work. That's probably one of the only things I'm excited about for WWE. Oh, and Edge and AJ Styles, which kind of randomly I suddenly remembered. Oh, right, they are wrestling each other. That's probably going to be the best match on the card.
We're going to go through the card. We are going to go through the card.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so I think I still need Mo. Mo, what are you popping for this week?
Well, admittedly, I missed a lot of wrestling this week. I just been very busy, but I did catch Tony Storm her debut.
Oh.
I'm very happy that she's in AEW. We all know how the E is with that stuff, but I'm glad that she's over there. And I think she's actually going to kill it over there. The women's division sorely needed, a person like her being involved in there. So I'm very happy about that. But of course, it's WrestleMania week. I always look forward to this time of the year. I wish I was able to go. Unfortunately, I'm not. But it's always next year, though.
Facts.
So
yeah, I'm with you on that, Mo. But this WrestleMania was kind of like
I never been to Texas, man. Never been down. So for
Jerry
me,
World,
it would have been great. But if anything, above all else, Tony Storm debuting. That's my pop for this week.
I can get with it. Cheats, can I just assume that Cheatsamania is what you're popping for this week and move right along?
You can, but I do have to. Nobody mentioned the tribal chief, and I will mention the tribal chief
because
it is the best thing going in wrestling, bar none. And he will somehow get out of this WrestleMania still the tribal chief and your WWE champion. And I'm already popping for it. Bring on The Rock. Thank you. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so I'll give you what my pop is because it'll be something refreshingly not WWE, and I stand with my other people that are not standing for WWE. But mine is definitely the Andrade Darby match last night. I wish they'd have given it more breath, but ever since I saw Andrade in the triple threat with Darby and Sammy, I am just blown away. And then Darby, his body type and his wrestling style just sells Andrade as this monster. So I'm really hoping for an Andrade push, and I really hope that the feud continues because that was a big pop for me last night. That and Mox's the Blackpool Combat Club hoodie. I ordered it immediately. He wasn't even in the ring, and I'd pushed purchase. So those are my two pops for the week. Now we always want to make sure that we take a little time to put our friends over, especially when they are doing good things. So Blue, let us talk about the mixed tag show. It is you and your partner Jenna. Is it Jenna or Jenna Baby? Because I felt real weird being like Jenna Baby. Is it the thing? Is it say the whole thing like a trap?
You ain't gotta say the whole thing. You gotta say Jenna's fine. She just get over herself on Twitter. Like she likes to put herself over. It's okay if you just call her Jenna. She'll be fine.
All right, man. I'm down to put Jenna over. Jenna Baby.
Honestly, it's like WCF. Please say the baby,
No, really, it's just Jenna. It's really just Jenna.
Please baby. Don't forget your baby. Okay, so when I was looking through your stuff, it looks like you guys have been around for about 4 years. Is that had the length of the YouTube channel, or is that the whole shebang?
No, that's definitely the whole shebang. We started off 4 years ago. I came across I come from the background of like radio and music and stuff like that, and wrestling has been my passion since I was like 5. No, actually since I was like 3. So that was like 1990. So I always wanted to do something in wrestling. And honestly, it was like one of those days where I used to like go around to other people's podcasts. It's like, hey, can I be on your podcast? And they're like, you don't really do much in wrestling, so no. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna build my own shit. So like that's kind of that's where it came to come from. And then I came across Jenna's page on Sasha Pink's Instagram stories. I'm like, hey, that looks like New York. I kind of reached out to her, we got a chance to meet up, and mixed tag show happened.
Well, it's definitely I really like it because I feel like you guys are playing with a couple of different mediums. So of course you have the podcast where you're doing like your commentary, your show breakdowns. I appreciate that you guys like look at the indies too and make sure you're like covering more than just the big 2 shows or the big 3, I guess. I don't know, however many we wanna count right on any given day, whether or not you remember New Japan Pro or not. So what I like though is you guys have like skits. You have like proper produced segments that feels like a promo a little bit. It feels like y'all shooting on each other a little bit. But tell me like how did that? Because I mean, a podcast is a podcast. We all jump on, we talk. we go home. How did you guys get into the space of doing the skits and the actual out and about like promos that you do?
Again, for my background, being in music and working at a radio station, it was mainly to promote certain situations. And in this case, when we came up with the idea, we literally sat at a Buffalo Wild Wings when we first met and talked for about good 4 hours putting the show together. And one of the things I always had in my mind was, one, I needed a female co-host, which was Jenna, and then two, I told her, like, to promote the podcast, we should do skits of past wrestling, things that we like, moments, whatever the case may be. So we did the Stone Cold situation, we did Chris Jericho's first appearance, and we did something else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But the crazy thing is that from us doing that, before the podcast even dropped, was just to introduce the podcast, we actually got contacted by WWE to work with them in their merchandising before the show even dropped.
That's crazy.
That was like, we was like, what the fuck?
I think it was NWO, right?
Yeah, we did NWO. That's right, you're right. It was the first one we did, and then so they saw that and it was like, hey, this is kind of different, and would you like work with us? And we ended up working with them, and that was just the start of it. It was just more so. My thing is, like, when it comes to media and entertainment, yeah, it's cool to be a podcast, but it's good to have different avenues and different ways to promote yourself, different ways to look at things and make things interesting for your listeners, your viewers, or whoever.
Absolutely. And I mean, you guys definitely have captured that. And I think it's very, it answers some questions when you say you're like classic music radio guy. Because one of the things I really like is when you guys do your podcast, your video, it feels like a classic, like, sports talk vibe. Like, you're in the studio together, there's like the soundproofing on the wall and you got your mic. Like, it feels like a classic, like, sports talk thing. So that definitely shines through. What's the, like, okay, so we did what you were popping for wrestling. Like, what are you popping for the mixed tag show coming up this year? Like, what do you guys have going on that's like your biggest, like, I'm super excited about this thing? What is it that you guys got going on this year?
I think what's popping for us is more so, there's a couple of things. One, I'm trying to move ourselves more over towards the Twitch channels, because after doing it for 4 years, you got to find ways to make money outside of ads, because let's be honest, you don't get much for ads. So Twitch is a way to get more money, and with that, we've created a segment called Put You On. The Put You On segment, I had the vision of, a lot of, like you said, your audience may not be my audience, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times we speak about, like, different wrestlers that don't get the proper shine, whether it be black wrestler or woman wrestler or whatever. They don't get the right, because let's be honest, it's a male-dominated sport, a white male-dominated sport. So we try to find different ways to highlight that. So I came up with Put You On, where we find different wrestlers and we sit there and have, we're on Twitch and we'll have a conversation about how they got to wrestling, the basic conversation. But then we watch one of their favorite matches, one of their personal favorite matches together, and try to break it down, just so that the audience can also get a chance to see what they can do in the ring. And it's not just like, hey, I could do this and that, and then, you don't get a chance to see it for yourself.
I love that concept. I think that's amazing. And then also, as we're having like a surge of like new types of wrestlers, right? Like, I think it's important that the platforms expand and like grow to fit those spaces. Like, something that I have loved sounds weird coming from the white lady on the show, but something that I have loved is we've been able to highlight like a lot of Black wrestling podcasts on this show. And like, something, I have 2 little brown children, so as of late, there has been a lot more things for them to look at and be like, oh, like, that could be me. They love Dante and Darius Martin. Like, that's the people. So I think, like, we have to expand the whole audience, right? So not just getting diversity on the screen, but also in the voices that are talking about wrestling. I mean, it's been 40-year-old white men forever.
You're like 60, 70 at this point.
Super love what y'all are doing, and I love that you're elevating a woman's voice too. That makes me really, really happy.
And also to add to that, I'm sorry,
just
to add to that, another thing I'm gonna bring back this year. Last year, I used to do Straight Shoe Sundays where we used to do Instagram lives with different podcasters and things of that nature. This year I'm actually gonna bring it back. I'm trying to find a different way to do it in terms of like on Twitch, more settled in, like you said, more production, because you can't really do much production on IG Live. So I'm bringing in where I get to try to highlight other podcasters, because for a while we didn't even know this community existed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different ways to try to connect everybody and help each other and bring our audiences together.
Well, we'll always be on board for that. Again, like our biggest thing is like whoever we have on, before you leave, our whole job is to get you over. So we got to make sure we're going to tag this again at the end. But now, because I know Cheats is like chomping at the bit to talk about Wrestlemania.
No. I got questions for Blue. I got questions for Blue.
Get in there, Cheats.
Yeah, and I got a couple questions, and then the gang is all here. Chris has joined us as well. So I wanted to make sure that we got questions, and many questions as we can, because Blue and Jenna have been doing this for a number of years now, and they've, as y'all can tell, they've got a whole different type of vibe, whether it's putting on new wrestlers, talking about the current wrestling, the state of wrestling, but they have done some amazing things on different mediums and have built their podcast and built their brand, and we want to salute that. I wanted to go back to kind of what Megan was alluding to and what you were talking to as well in regards to, there was just a article, Dennis Davis, I think the third junior, on Anscape, just put out a pretty long deep dive into basically saying now is the time for black wrestling and black wrestlers to get recognized. So I wanted to ask yourself and ask the others in particular, does everyone feel like this is the most culturally relevant that wrestling's been for Black America in general, and is this the best time for black wrestling?
I think, I feel like, honestly, as crazy as it may sound, the pandemic was a blessing in disguise for that movement, in the sense that a lot of us spent more time on Twitter. And then since we were at home, again, like we found different ways to continue on with our podcasts. Like she said before, we used to be in the studio, just be me and Jenna. We record, post it, keep it moving. But then now we found different ways to use our restreams and StreamYards and things of that nature. And with that, you start building a community. And when you start speaking more on Twitter, you start putting more things on your timeline. And then that's when we started connecting more with who we could see. And that's how it really built. So I feel like this is definitely a time, because now even the wrestlers, they had to find different ways to connect with their audiences. So they used Twitter to connect with the audiences. And that led them to us podcasters now, because they need our platforms. Not need like in that sense, but like they see our platform as a way to express themselves comfortably without feeling out of place. So I feel like that's what really helped in a sense, because when you think about it, for the past 2 years, that's when the surges have came. It was like, all right, we need to put a focus and use our voice as a unity at this moment.
I feel that 100%. I also feel during that time there's been a lot more advocacy for black wrestlers and black wrestling as well. And I don't know if that would have happened if the world kind of didn't take a pause and really look at the industry. But I definitely notice even now, in jokingly as we were last night on our group chat. But yeah, man, I felt like I needed to go out online and advocate for Jay Lethal. I did, because I'm tired of what's happening to Jay Lethal. All right, go ahead on. Anybody else questions for Blue Gang?
I wanted to ask, in the segment where you feature up and coming wrestlers, has there? And I apologize, I haven't seen too much of your show. I did check a little bit of it out, but have you featured anyone who has gone on to some Main Street success?
We've honestly, a lot of people that we've featured were like on their way, to be honest with you. A lot of them, like when we think about, I don't know if you guys know who Darius Carter is. Darius Carter right now is holding 4 different titles, and he was like one of the first people we had on. We had Darius Lockhart on, and when he first had his match with Lee Moriarty, and we broke that match down, that was a special. Amber Rodriguez, she's now doing things on a different spectrum. I'm not sure how, I don't know if it's announced yet, but she's moving on and doing different things, and it's just a lot of people are doing great things. Last week we had Ron Hunt on from Shane Teller Promotions. They, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's starting to build, like, we're finding key wrestlers that could get that kind of like eye on them, like, yo, this is the person that's gonna be next. Y'all should be paying attention to. You know what I mean? So, and that's why it started to fall on like Elo O'Neal. It's so much people I could say, and it's dope that I could do that, and that's what I love to do. That's the same thing I used to do with music. Is like, yo, you have to find the people. I used to work at Hot 97 in New York. And I used to be the person that used to run around the hallways like, no, you need to play this Wale. This junk is fire. Nah, Boz is coming up next from J. Cole. This is what we need to be playing. So it's the same thing I'm doing right now with wrestling, and it's a great feeling.
Well, I think that's so great, and I know and I hope that the wrestlers, who are trying to make their way appreciate that extra rub you're giving them, and that's also a great way to get more eyes on your show too, because the wrestlers will talk and they'll say, hey, this show is giving us a platform. So continued success. That's awesome.
And this is the second show that has mentioned the Revolutionary Brother. And we need to get Darius Lockhart on the show. Darius Lockhart, we need to get him on the show. This is the second podcast that's had Darius Lockhart, and we haven't got him, and we're trying to get the Revolutionary Brother.
Yeah, he's a very good dude.
He's so dope. I need to get him on.
All right. Any more questions? If not, I'm going to move y'all along to the segment with which I will not be participating.
Man, Blue, you gonna stick around and talk some WrestleMania with us, because it is WrestleMania weekend.
I mean, we can talk about WrestleMania. Just because I talk about it doesn't mean gotta be positive. I'm gonna bring out
right.
You
know what I mean?
Talk about it.
Hater, Blue.
See what I mean?
I gotta tell
Blue,
the
I am
truth.
a hater. So Blue, you're staying, because my big thing is I want to make sure everybody has all of your handles. They know where to find you. Let's do this now, and then we can do it again at the end of the show if you stay with us the whole time. But Blue, where can people find you? Where can they catch these hot takes? Where can they catch these fun skits? Where can they catch new up and coming wrestlers?
You can follow my page at Blue Magic Line, Spell How It Sound. You can find Jenna at Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE. You can follow our podcast at The Mixed Tag Show, spelled like the How It Sound, on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. Is all the same. We have a lot of things coming up. Jenna has her segments. I have my segments. We have segments together. We're going to try to put more skits together. The pandemic trying to slow that down, but we're going to find different ways. We have other things in motion as well. Honestly, secretly, we're trying to get a cartoon together. So we're trying to do that next. But
Blue, I need to team up with you, because me and my kids have an idea that, okay, so it's gonna be like a Scooby-Doo type show, and it's Sting and Thunder Rosa and Darby, and they're solving crimes together. And I want it to be a cartoon, so let's be friends and make this mystery wrestling cartoon. I think it would be great.
It's funny though. It would be funny if it's like different voices that has nothing to do with the characters. That just sounded like Sting, Thunder Rosa, and Darby. That'd be hilarious.
Blue, really quick, let me ask you this before we get into WrestleMania. Of the years you've been doing the show, you and Jenna have been doing the show, what is your hottest take? What is your hottest take on the wrestling industry that either has come true or will come true in the future? What's your hottest take?
My hottest take is that WWE would never change. It's the same thing over and over again. Like, and it also hits you with okie dokes that a lot of people fall for. In terms of like, let's make black champions with my secondary title. In terms of the WWE title, and they just they don't care about the IC and the US title, so the WWE title has become the secondary title. And then they're like, hey, look, we got black champions now, but it's not really true, because let's keep it 100. Everybody getting mad at AEW, who's been around for like 2.5 years during the pandemic, but the Universal title only had one black wrestler compete for it, and it was Kofi Kingston when he was WWE champion, and he won by the DQ and never got a rematch. So let's think about that. So is that really changing the company?
I like it.
It's the same.
I like it.
That's fair.
Blue, we could be
very
best
fair.
friends.
Very fair.
I got all the similar feels.
I mean, just for that and your Hot 97 connection, you got to fight Peter Rosenberg off of GP.
Please do. Let Peter win this 24/7 title.
Y'all ain't gonna go bash. Look, y'all ain't gonna go bash Pete. Y'all ain't gonna bash Pete. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna bash Pete. Pete
We
played
love you,
Fly.
Peter Rosenberg.
Look, he played Fly Anakin last week, man. You ain't going to bash Pete.
Hey, you are in
All
charge.
right, this is what
Go
we're
ahead,
doing.
talk
This-
about
This
WrestleMania.
is what we're doing. It is the biggest weekend in all
Not
of
Meg
professional.
leaving.
In all of no, she's coming back, but it's the biggest weekend in
For
all of
WrestleMania.
professional wrestling, and it is WrestleMania 38, and it is not just the biggest weekend for what we're talking about, the 2 nights at AT&T Stadium, but as Blues mentioned, as others have mentioned, it's just the biggest weekend in wrestling, and we can't deny the GCW shows, the Ring of Honor shows, all the indie shows, all the fan experiences. Like I said, Wale Mania is tonight. It is a huge deal. And so, the one thing you can say about WWE is they're the biggest in the game. Nobody, that's 100,000 seats for 2 nights, fellas.
But I ask you this, as much as they're the biggest wrestling in the game, is WrestleMania weekend still hyped over WWE shows, or what you could do during that weekend?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think it's whoa, got to make sure everybody's respectful. Oh, there we go. I think that it's all my feel, and I would love to get everybody's take on this, but my feel is it is going to be nearly impossible for the 2-day card or any card of WrestleMania to live up to WrestleMania, if that makes sense, right? In 2022, unless maybe, like, because you've got Brock versus Roman. The only
You had it
thing,
like 4 times already.
right. No, I'm not. I'm just saying. But you got Brock versus Roman. What could be bigger? The only thing that could be bigger is what Roman versus The Rock, right? Like, there's nothing. I think card wise, it could be a really, really good card, and it isn't going to live up to the hype of 2 nights in one of the largest stadiums in the United States with all of this stuff going on. So, to answer your question, I think the weekend is bigger than the actual card, right? The actual sports entertainment event for 2 nights. The weekend is bigger than that, but I also think that that's okay. I don't know, fellas. What do you think?
It most certainly is okay, for sure. This is the biggest week, not only just for them, but for all of wrestling. Like, the entire industry comes to circle around when it's WrestleMania time, no matter where location it's in, whether it's in Dallas, LA, New York City, Florida. It's always going to be something popping when WrestleMania comes into town. And now that it's a 2-day event, it's just bringing in much more revenue, not only for them, but for the city itself. And everybody's coming through. People can complain about having 2-night cards. They can complain about how the cards itself may not live up to the spectacle of WrestleMania. And when actuality, it is. Because, to be quite honest, a lot of these cards from the previous WrestleManias weren't all that great from top to bottom. We're not going to say that there were John Blaze from the opener all the way to the end. There was a lot of
Put
shit.
some respect on
in the
Hercules
mix of-
Hernandez's name.
Hey, man. Hercules
respect
Hernandez
Hercules
is that dude,
Hernandez.
but nah, dog. Like,
Put some
none of
respect
that.
on Corporal Kirshner's name.
You know,
Oh, boy.
yeah. for real, man. Especially, but for this weekend, it's huge. It is mega. And yeah, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is the biggest thing that WWE has to offer right now, as it also looks like it's going to be an end of an era of the way they used to do things. And it's the biggest feud that they have. Like, this is the first of like 3, not even 3 consecutive main events, but the 3 times that they face each other at WrestleMania, it has closed the show. Like, no other feud has done that. You know, the closest one could have been Rock and Austin, but they didn't close out in WrestleMania 19.
Nope.
So this is mega. This is huge. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in is fucking fantastic. That is still a big deal.
I don't think I need
It's
to see
still a big deal.
Okay.
It's
Does
Dallas,
anybody else,
Texas.
Am
man.
I alone in this? The Texas angle is
this
right,
is
but
huge.
I don't need
be.
Stone Cold.
You might be. I mean, as much as some people,
I don't need it.
I know you don't need it, but listen, even I think when that glass breaks.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna pop.
And you hear 85,000 people
Every time.
lose their
I'm
mind.
gonna pop.
Correct.
I'm gonna pop. But
That's exactly what it is.
Blue, do you need it? Do you need Stone Cold coming back?
First of all, it's not a comeback. He's like, it's not a match. Let's get that straight. So it's basically
It's like
the
a
same thing he does.
walkthrough.
It's the
It's
same
definitely
thing
a
he does
moment.
whenever he does show up.
Walkthrough.
It's the same thing he does whenever he does show up at WrestleMania. It's the same thing. Let's be honest. Only thing is that he's going to close it out this year, which I'm again against, because it's like, first of all, if it's not a real match, then why is it closing out? If that's the case, Seth versus this mystery opponent should be closing out, because that's what everybody's waiting on. Let's be honest. Like, nobody's really trying to sit here and
and
speak.
Shane McMahon close the show. We don't want to see
I-
Seth
I
Rollins. Shane
thought
McMahon
about
close
that,
the
King.
show.
That's gonna be great.
I
That's
thought
gonna
about
be
that,
great.
King.
That's gonna be
It's-
great.
Yeah, when Shane McMahon come out, everybody be tight.
I am
Seth and
praying
Veer
to the-
closing out the show.
I am praying to the wrestling gods, which of course are JBL and Moose, that it is Seth versus Shane McMahon, bro.
I would
Like,
love that. I would
I
love
need
that.
that
That's
in
the
my
swerve.
soul.
Yep.
Not adrenaline in my soul. I need Shane McMahon in my soul, and not Cody Rhodes close the show. Listen, this WrestleMania reminds me of a very, very large bag of potato chips.
Mhm.
The bag is very, very huge, but it's like 40% air. It's like nothing.
Oh.
It's just there, and then the rest are chips. That's what this WrestleMania is. This feels like a super Raw or a super SmackDown. Hence why
No,
it's been 2
I
nights.
just
It feels
I
like
disagree.
it wasn't done for wrestling purposes. It was done for money and revenue purposes.
Well, they
Vince
all
gotta
are.
That's
make that money
WrestleMania,
back.
That's
Kane.
all are.
It's
Yeah.
always been that way.
Let me
Here's the
let
thing,
me
right?
let
No,
me.
Here's
no,
the
no, no.
thing,
It
right?
hasn't always been that
Wait,
way. It's
wait,
been
wait.
celebrity driven. It's been pageantry driven.
They got
Yes,
Johnny
Right.
I
Knoxville.
can understand.
They got
I
Logan
can
Paul.
understand the 2-night WrestleMania when they were coming back. But do we really need it again? And
I
if,
agree.
and now that
Yes.
we do have
Okay,
it
yes.
again, why isn't the US and the IC titles on the card?
Okay, Kane,
That's
stop
the-
real quick. Okay, wait, hold on. Because look, you're right about a lot of things, but let me bring in Ali and Mo, both of them, because I do want Ali is somebody that's was into wrestling a long time ago, got out of wrestling for a very long time, coming right back into wrestling. So I
Which is
want
what
to
WrestleMania is for, basically.
I want to get his perspective. Do you think WrestleMania, like we were saying, is the event and the spectacle? Like, that's the show, right? It's not actually the card. What makes you and both of you? What do you makes you pop about WrestleMania?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I probably looked forward to WrestleMania just because it was WrestleMania. But the last couple of years in a row have slowly chipped away at it. And now I was like, honestly, a few days ago, I was like, oh, it's WrestleMania? Okay, whatever. I'm not even planning on watching it.
What?
Just because I got a lot going on. Like, and like, I've just become so jaded. But Kane made a really good point. There's a lot of these sort of gimmicky celebrity matches, which have always happened in wrestling, but
Correct.
I feel like now it's like the gimmick celebrities are like put over at the expense of like the wrestlers. Whereas I feel like the point should be to put the wrestler over, right? Like you bring in, like I remember how glued to the TV I was when Mike Tyson showed up with DX, and I was like, oh my God. And he made DX look cooler, you know? But like here, Logan Paul's going to show up and he's going to make Rey Mysterio look like a chump. And
Yeah,
Johnny Knoxville
like,
shows
are you
up.
serious? Why is Logan Paul delivering a skull-crushing finale on free TV, by the way? If you're going to do it at the pay-per-view. But why is he delivering a skull-crushing finale to Rey Mysterio, to Dominic, almost crushed him, didn't even execute it properly? Like, why is
Dominic's
that
trash
happening?
though, so it doesn't matter.
Why is that?
I loved it.
NXT
I loved
Dominic.
I loved
go
it
off.
too,
You
man.
respect-
I loved it.
You respect NXT 2.0 Dominic because he
No.
was getting busy on 2.0. You know what I mean?
He needs to
But it's
stay
just
his
like-
ass over there.
Absolutely, I agree with that because my man was in that joint looking nice in front of 200
What?
people. But
All right,
I just think that does the Logan Paul crowd care about WWE? Because
Yeah.
the WWE crowd don't give a shit about Logan Paul.
That's
And
the
it's a way-
point.
That's
That's-
the
all right.
contrary, man. If they did give a shit about Logan Paul, why they have him on the card?
No.
They want to bring in that
that's-
audience.
That's no.
Vince
I
was watching
think
his
I
grandsons
think
on TikTok one day and was like,
I
"Oh, who's
think-
this guy?"
I think it's perfect, and I think putting him with the Miz is perfect heel work, and I think that Logan Paul has embraced the
God.
heel work, and I really do love it. But I want to bring in Mo, and then we got to go through this card quickly, gentlemen. Quickly, we got to go through this card and bring Megan back. So Mo, the spectacle of WrestleMania or the card, which one's bigger?
It's the whole spectacle. I mean, Chris can attest to this too. When we was in New Orleans for WrestleMania 30, you know, that whole city, like it was it was a week long stuff. I remember I had gotten there that Thursday. And there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff going on at the same time. You know, as much as you would like to hit up different other shows, you know, the indie shows or whatever. At that time, you know, and even now, like it's just so much stuff to do over there, man. Like it's not just.
Wait a minute. There's no access anymore.
Well, I know. Well, and so they say there's no access, but it's weird. It's set up.
It's called NXT Stand and Deliver. Thank you very much.
but I mean, it's just being in that city, and you know, everybody comes there. You know, it's not just only for the E. You know, and now you got all AEW and all that other stuff, but the whole wherever is hosting the city, you're guaranteed that everybody's flocking to there. All eyes are on there. And this is a make or break time for a lot of these people, especially the ones that may not be well known, to mainstream fans, and it helps also build their, I guess their character or product or whatever it is. And, it's one of those things that they may gain another fan that they never had before, and that's following their stuff. And who knows where the trajectory is for anybody, in the other promotions. I mean, it's not impossible that years down the line that they get more eyes fixated on them from the major companies. And then from that moment where you actually see them on TV, then you could be like, you know what? I'm glad that person is on there. Now, granted, the E and AEW, like the major promotions, it may not be the end all be all as far as these wrestlers, as far as their careers is concerned. But, from a economic and promoting themselves standpoint, I mean, the production value and the PR stuff that goes along with those companies, I mean, it's undeniable. So I think I look at it as a big pot of, everybody being in one place, all eyes on not just only the promotions, but on the individual wrestlers themselves. And then a lot of times when you're at these host cities, a lot of these wrestlers, they're very they'll go out and they'll, socialize.
They're very accessible
with everybody.
Except Ricochet. Do not approach Ricochet at 4 a.m. in the hotel lobby.
Well,
blah, 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 blah.
I got some stories of meeting
Kane.
certain people outside. But overall, though, to tie it back up to the original question, it is the spectacle of WrestleMania. It doesn't mean that the card itself, that everybody has to keep the eyes on there. It's the fact that it's the exposure factor for the actual, just for wrestling in general, and there could be people that live in these host cities and they may not be necessarily wrestling fans, but the fact that people are out there and they are socializing and they'll ask questions like, who is this person? Like, why is everybody gathered around this one person? Who is this person?
I mean, Mojito, they're in Texas, so they might be asking about like Kerry Von Erich or some shit,
I mean, that's fine. That's
Where's
fine.
Kerry?
I'm gonna say, because it's Mo brings a good point, and Blue comes from the music industry in that sense, and it's just like going to any of those big festivals or big
South by
concerts.
Southwest.
If you steal the show, and everybody's talking about this person stealing the show, that could take a life of its own over the weekend and have people start to pay attention and recognize, gentlemen, this is what I'm gonna do, because our special guest, our special friend is Blue from the Mixed Tag Show. We welcome him, and we got a whole bunch of family for our WrestleMania preview. We are gonna go through the card very quickly. Everybody's not gonna weigh in. Blue, you will get to weigh in, and then
real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
One quick point.
Yeah.
The 2 night makes no sense. If you would have made this into one card and picked the best matches, this WrestleMania would have been a whole lot better.
But Blue,
Then people will complain that
Blue,
there no one of their favorites are on the card.
Blue, double albums don't make a lot of sense, but a lot of people have them do
makes sense.
What was it? Blueprint 2.0?
Blueprint 2?
Yeah.
It's the reason why they dropped. It's the reason why they dropped Blueprint 2.1 immediately. They was like,
if Blueprint 2 was just one album, we would have been straight.
What's the old adage? What's the old adage? Why have one when you can have two for twice the price?
True. All right, this is what we're gonna do though, and we're gonna go quick as we can. So night one, I'm gonna get Blue's prediction. Any quick thoughts, and then I'm gonna bring in Ali. I'm gonna bring in Ali on this one. Night one, first match, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. Blue, any thoughts, predictions? Ali, any thoughts, predictions?
First of all, this should be Sasha versus Charlotte. Let's keep it 100. And I feel like Charlotte is just there to beat up on Ronda because Ronda's not coming back. She already said she's not going to beat on Monday, so what's the point? This is what I'm saying. It's waste. Like,
so you think Charlotte? Ali, are you looking
Charlotte.
forward to Charlotte, Ronda, or anything Ronda?
I'm not, and I'm confused as to why I'm not. Ronda Rousey is a huge star.
She is.
And I was excited when she first came to the company, and then I watched her on YouTube because I can't watch actually WWE, and the promos didn't do it for me. But I'm guessing that this match will actually be really good because Ronda can go in the ring, and Charlotte is obviously awesome in the ring. So I'm expecting that when I watch it, it'll probably be a fun match to watch. But I'm not excited about it, and if I never watched it, I don't know that I would miss it.
Interesting.
Which is kind of sad.
All
you
right.
said that Ronda could go in the ring?
She's gotten better.
Not those
I mean,
punches.
she's not as good as Charlotte, but her match.
I'm not gonna say nothing because I haven't watched her when she came back, so I can't say nothing about now.
I mean, she's way better than Nia Jax.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Nia's gonna kill people. Next match, Raw Women's Championship, Big Time Bex versus Bianca Belair. Let's get the No Words Barred crew. Mo, Chris, Big Time Bex, Bianca Belair. Any quick thoughts, quick predictions?
I'll let you go, Chris.
I have Bianca winning. It's been built up to this moment, going on far from SummerSlam, or Becky's character work as a heel now has been excellent, building up to this match going forward. I'm glad that he picked up on the violence too between the two, and Bianca has just been on a rampage, going forward, getting these big victories, winning out in the Elimination Chamber, having impressive shows against Doudrop. It was always going to be coming to this moment here, and it's about time that Becky go and drop the title so she can get something going for herself. And it looks like they're developing a new character with her, just starting to lose her fucking mind.
I like it. Mo, any quick thoughts on this one?
I got Bianca winning, but I'm a little bit the part about it that kind of keeps me a little bit skeptical about it is that I don't know if I trust the WWE with having Bianca win the title 2 years in a row. I don't know if they, if they're really going to go that route. But personally, I think Bianca is going to wind up winning. And I don't think it's going to be the end of their feud either. I think it may go on a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer. But the interesting thing that I did realize with Raw, with Bianca cutting Becky's hair, don't think for a single second that that's not going to come back and bite Bianca in the behind, because knowing how her hair is part of her character and is part of her weaponry. So don't be surprised if somewhere along the lines that there is something that Becky does to Bianca's hair. Could be the Raw after Mania or whatever down in the future, but this is not over. This is not over. She's going to get her revenge one way or another. Becky, if she loses.
I see where you're going with this, Mo. And now it's time to bring back the Hall of Famer OG Brutus, the barber beefcake. He's going to come through with the shears, and or somebody's getting super kicked and thrown through a barbershop glass window.
I like it. I'm going to bring Mo and Elliot in on this one, and it's a unique question because it's Seth freaking Rollins versus mystery opponent. Question 1, is it indeed Cody Rhodes? And 2, who wins? Blue.
For me, I feel like it is going to be Cody. I won't be surprised if it's Swerve because again, it's not main event, so something's like fishy about that to be. But I guess it's Dallas, so Austin has to main event, I guess. But I think it's gonna be Cody. Cody has to win if you're coming in. You can't come in there losing off the back.
Unless you're Jay Lethal. Unless you're Jay Lethal. Elliot, is it Cody, and does he win?
I think if it is Cody, he does win. And I think it will be Cody, but I will not be surprised. And I guess this is my fantasy mark booking. I kind of hope they do bring out Shane, but then Cody comes and throws Shane off the stage and goes down there. I would love to see the swerve for Shane's music to hit. He comes out, but before it even gets going, the lights go out. Cody comes out. I think that's the swerve. And maybe it wouldn't shock me if on Monday when Cody comes out, Shane interrupts and Cody and Shane that's his first feud. That'd be terrible. But that's that. I can see that. So yes, I do think it's Cody. I do think he'll win, but not without some trickery beforehand with a
that Shane's bump for WrestleMania. Cody just throws him off the stage.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He needs a bump. He needs to have his few moments to do something crazy. So there you go. That's what it's going to be.
I was with you on that because I'm thinking, what if they bring out Shane? Like Vince is like, "It's my son, Shane," and then Vince is like, "No, I fired you back in January at the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about my true son," and it's like Austin Theory. And then
but Austin has a match already.
Yeah.
But even so,
the same night.
Is it that night?
It's going to be on night 2. He's already got Pat McAfee.
Okay.
That wouldn't make sense.
Hold on. Because we got Ty the Hater that has joined the program. Everybody give it up for Ty the Hater. A special appearance. A special appearance for Ty the Hater.
He said I'm doing a walkthrough.
Very quickly, Ty, because we're going through the WrestleMania 38 card, but I know you want to weigh in on this. Is it Cody that's going to fight Seth Rollins, and will Cody win?
No, I think it's going to be Shane, because Vince doesn't know what the hell anybody wants to actually see. Cody's going to show up the night after WrestleMania, and if it's going to be anyone's true son, it's going to be Hornswoggle. It's going to jump out there.
Or Mr. Kennedy.
I like it. All right, we're still moving along. King Woods, the New Day, King Woods, Kofi versus Ridge Holland, Sheamus. I think this is kind of a throwaway match. It's probably going to be horrible.
Are they allowed to be called the New Day?
They are allowed to be called the New Day. It's still the New Day.
Again, it's New Day with Kofi and Xavier.
It's Kofi and Xavier versus Ridge Holland and Sheamus. Does anybody care about this match enough to comment?
It should be fine.
It's a cool down match.
It's going to be fine.
Triple threat.
New Day's popular.
Yeah,
we'll move on.
Wait! I got a question.
If it would have been a 6-man, it would have been iller, I think, as the 6-man. But unfortunately, Ridge Holland had to, be green as shit.
And I got a question. How many black people have already won on the card at this point?
Hold on, wait a second. Bianca has won in our minds. And you got to think about the black people that are fighting. So of night 1 right now, Bianca is the only winner. And do we count the Usos as black? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make this happen for everyone.
Not for the DUIs. But
I do think that I think the New Day wins.
New Day wins. That's a quota.
Yeah,
that's a quota.
Yeah, that's
so I
it.
think, are we bringing Megan back in?
I think Sheamus and them going over. I think the sick Irish kids are going over. So.
And Butch. I think if it had been the 6-man tag with Big E and Butch and everything, obviously Big E.
I think Xavier's moving on to Ricochet after this. So the New Day's going to.
Chris, what you say?
Xavier's going for the Intercontinental Championship. So,
okay.
Yeah.
He needs to do something as the King Woods gimmick,
Wait.
Title's on Raw.
Wait.
Oh.
No, it's on SmackDown.
It's on SmackDown. Intercontinental's on SmackDown, but
you just forgot Shinsuke was champion forever, and now
Ricochet is a face. Is Xavier turning heel?
I mean, it looked like that was going to be the idea before he got hurt. So, he's been pushing for it on Twitter.
We got to go fast here. Hold on. Does anybody care? Because again, I think this is another throwaway match. Does anybody care about Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, or we can just skip this?
No, next.
Drew's winning.
Okay.
Skip
that
Drew's
one. Okay, this is all still night 1, and this will be. We talked a little bit about this. The Mysterios versus Logan Paul and The Miz.
I got Logan and Miz winning.
I do too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
If I didn't already have zero interest in watching this product, the inclusion of Logan Paul.
Right.
Megan comes back to throw flames. This is what happens, Blue. Only on Wrestling Chat with Friends. Only on
allow
Wrestling
it.
Chat with Friends.
Does it matter? Does it matter that we're predicting that the 2K22 or 2K22 cover boy is taking a loss here at WrestleMania? Does that?
Nah.
Yeah,
matter?
I think
Does that normally happen?
I think they cheat. They cheat, Elliot. They cheat and they win.
And is that because Vince sees more dollar signs with Logan
celebrity.
Paul than he does
Yep.
with the video game?
Yep.
Got it. Check.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Not
Mysterio's gonna
that.
win.
It's just the celebrity aspect.
Logan Paul's a heel. He'll get
Yeah.
his upcomings. He took the mask. Mysterio's win. This sets up Ray versus Dominic next year at WrestleMania.
Thank
Dominic
you.
wins the mask.
It needs to happen.
Does Jake
Ray's
Paul,
gonna retire and Dominic's gonna wear the mask.
Does the more popular Jake Paul, show up during this?
We hope
I
not.
hope not.
Is he sitting front row?
He's probably going to be there more than likely.
He's going to
But
be
there's
there.
gonna
They're
be a
very
real
close.
Camera will pan to him.
Okay,
Yeah.
last two things for night one: the Usos versus Shinsuke and Boogs.
Boogs and Shinsuke win it.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think they can win that one.
Where we at, Mo? Where we at?
Yep. Yeah.
Don't mess with the tribe. Don't mess with the tribe.
Yeah, I think
They're not going to let down Tribal Roman.
Is
Ty, where you at on this?
I'm just trying to figure out if this is WrestleMania episode of SmackDown.
This is WrestleMania.
This is
SmackDown
what I
Raw.
was saying. Yes, WrestleMania is a Super Raw or Super SmackDown for both nights. Yes, thank you.
We
We're here.
know it's not a match. Blue has already alluded to this. Stone Cold will come out, kick Kevin Owens a couple times, stun him, pour some beer on top of him. That ends night one. Everybody agree
I hope
with
he
that?
swims.
Everybody pops.
Yeah.
Just for the record, Chief, this is why you don't get to be in charge of run a show, because we are officially over
It's
all
fine.
this WWE chat.
It's like drunk Megan.
I mean,
TV
It's
time
like
remaining.
drunk
Is
off
it-
anger.
is
She's
it
angry at
our
WWE.
fault that nothing's happened on AEW in the last 3 weeks?
No, hey,
Oh,
stop.
that's
you know,
yeah.
Don't come for
Nah,
me.
a
What
lot
do you
has
mean?
happened. That's
Ty the
best
hater
bad
is Ty the
Dead
hater
ass
is
show
here.
last night. There's
Ty
no one
the
here.
hater
A lot
is
happened.
here.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
show was
yeah.
bananas last night, Ty.
Last
It was an
night.
okay show last night.
Look, okay. I am gonna go by super fast. We're not even gonna have comments, except for the championship match. But we'll go super fast. Everybody's thoughts. Bobby Lashley, Omos, who wins? Just tell me who wins.
Omos.
Lashley, man.
Lashley.
Got it there.
Omos.
Omos gets his comeuppance.
Why
Omos
did
got
they
it.
show Omos off his feet on free TV? You
Kane,
saved that for the
Kane.
pay-per-view.
What did we just say, Kane? What did we just say?
Oh, I was just saying.
We're moving through.
Everyone
We're
was
moving
screaming.
through.
That was it.
AJ Styles versus Edge. Who comes out on top?
Gotta be
1996 comes out
I'll
on
go
top.
with Edge.
Is this going to be the best match of the night? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Might be.
I think this is the
Might
sleeper.
be.
It's AJ Styles. Yes.
It's AJ Styles.
Yes,
You know,
AJ
AJ
Styles.
Not after
does it.
Lashley Amos. Not after Lashley Amos.
Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
Ugh.
I got Sammy
Johnny
winning.
Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville.
Who
Sammy
cares?
Johnny
Yeah, Knoxville
Johnny
probably,
Knoxville
but
goes over.
who cares?
Oh yeah.
Pat
I'd rather
McAfee-
have Sami Zayn just dancing in the ring.
Right. Pat McAfee, Austin Theory,
Got Pat
Pat
McAfee winning.
Pat McAfee's gonna go undefeated.
and
But I
Pat
wouldn't be
McAfee,
surprised if Austin takes it though.
and Pat
Theory,
McAfee might
you-
steal the show.
Theory. You gotta
Yeah,
put over
Pat's
the wrestler.
great, man.
Theory. Theory. Wrestler. Put over the wrestler.
This could be the match of the night. Sneaky good. RK Bro Street Profits Alpha Academy.
Profits.
Oh, I do love RK.
Alpha
Bro.
Academy.
I got the Profits winning, man.
I think the Profits are
Profits
going to win.
going up.
Alpha Academy.
Ooh, tough.
That's a World Cup, boys.
Now, okay, guys. Zelina, Carmella, Sasha, Naomi, Rhea, Liv, Natty, and Shayna Baszler.
Oh my God.
Nobody really cares.
Honestly,
No.
I think that whoever the champs are, they're going to
Unless-
retain.
No,
Naomi
they
is
like the
possible.
people. They like the people,
Sasha,
but this
Naomi.
match is like, why? You doing this like three years in a row?
I'm gonna go with
This is night 2, right?
Screwy
This is night
finish.
2. This is night 2.
So
Night
Sasha and Naomi, you gotta put that black quarter.
Quota system for Ty here.
Hot take. My prediction is someone's gonna get hit in the face with an ass.
There you go. And we
Hopefully
will
me.
all love it.
Yeah.
Last one. Give it some thought. Let it breathe. Tribal Chief, Brock Lesnar, who comes out on top? We already know what I think.
Brock Lesnar.
Put the ones up,
what?
man.
Roman's
Roman's gonna win.
It's going to be a classic, like your Attitude Era, like a whole bunch of stuff happening that it's not going to be a technical match or anything like that. It's going to be a clusterfuck, and I hope that it's better than the one that I saw live at WrestleMania 34. That atrocity, fans didn't even care. A beach ball.
Was that when Seth cashed in?
No,
that was 31. That was awesome.
No, 30.
You see what I mean? Like, this doesn't matter.
That was
the one. No, that was the other one. They got to do it this time. Like, what?
Was that amazing? Yeah,
bigger
that's
stakes,
what
I
they
get
thought.
it, but Roman is winning, and everybody be fine. They could go home happy and whatever. Then maybe
My only fear is that
I don't know.
Roman's gonna win, and this won't matter because they're gonna bring a Raw exclusive title anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna Roman's gonna be WWE champ on SmackDown, and then Raw's gonna get a new title anyway. And I don't know what other synonyms they have for world. They got world, universal. I don't know. Are they gonna call it the El Mando Championship or something? They're just gonna go like Spanish with it, but there's no way they're gonna have one champion.
So we all agree that Roman's gonna win, right?
No,
Roman will win.
He will.
Roman will win, and he will
gotta get a demon off his back.
He will carry this title well until whenever The Rock comes back.
When Big E lost the championship to Brock, someone went through and did the research, and Brock Lesnar has taken belts off of every black champion in the last 10 years. So go to sleep, Tribal Chief. All right. Good thing we wrapped up our WrestleMania chat.
Good Lord, Megan. Good Lord.
What?
No, go ahead.
She's the heel and heels,
if you guys want to keep going,
like a Brady Bunch in this bitch.
I know, right? It's all the peoples.
Okay. So we're putting Megan back.
We always end with our heel of the week, and this week it can be either wrestling related or they're typically not wrestling related, but it can be wrestling related this week. So, Elliot the Collector, who's your heel of the week?
Oh God, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, because I want to hear everybody else's takes, but just from reading Twitter today, I'm going to say the heels of the week are anyone who was calling out Ruby Soho. I think she's more talented than people give her credit for. I wouldn't say she's the most talented female wrestler that AEW has, but she clearly is a talent who has gotten that character over. And there have been a lot of people just saying that, she's right where she needs to be. She blew her opportunity out of the gate, and she deserves right where she is in Dark or Elevation. And I don't agree with that. I really like her character. I like her attitude. I think she's a talented worker. I think she should be higher up in the TBS title picture. So all the smarks that are bashing Ruby Soho, she's my girl. I like her.
Absolutely. And I think she's been making Anna Jay look really good. Like that pairing is doing a lot for me in rekindling my like of Anna Jay, which has dwindled drastically since the passing of Brody. All right, Chris Mack, who's your heel of the week?
Well, I guess I would say for my heel of the week is White Hollywood, for how they've been treating the entire situation with Chris Rock and Will Smith. I mean, it was just a regular old brother moment that just happened to happen live on one of the biggest stages on TV. And listen, man, like I said before, people fucking snap, man. Like, we're human. And, for the last couple of years, while Smith was definitely in the wrong here, man, his family's been treated like the butt of the joke for the last couple of years. Him and Jada's business being put out on the street. Your kid's not getting respected as much. I mean, I know that's got to weigh on him a lot. And with this shit, I don't really see it as him defending his wife when the moment happened. It was more of an ego trip. And he wanted to make himself look good. He wanted to, be there for her, make her, in the process. But, he just snapped in a fit of rage. And, I mean, Chris, man, I feel for him, dog, because it was an off-putting joke that he put in.
I mean, Will Smith, to quote the late great Owen Hart, Will Smith said, Enough is enough.
Yeah, enough is enough, man. He just said fuck it. Right. I've been following his metamorphosis like this past year so far. Reading like this related some article that he did, and it was only a matter of time that he was like, "You're going to get a new Will Smith." Like he has a lot of clarity in his life, and you may not like some of the shit that he does going forward. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a wild ride to see. But for everyone in white America, shut the fuck up. This is none of your business. Y'all don't have anything to say about this. Y'all too busy, hiding sexual abusers and rapists and all that stuff, and keeping their awards and keeping them tight. But y'all, one
Real
moment,
violence.
black man just slips up just once, and this happens every year. White people just cluster pearls, man. It's fucking crazy.
Facts.
It's crazy.
Facts.
If Weinstein doesn't get his awards taken away, Big Willie style should be able to keep his. All right, Mo, what you got? What's your heel of the week?
Heel of the week are the people who will refuse to enjoy that, and we touched on it earlier. That this is not just WrestleMania weekend. This is wrestling weekend.
So that means all of y'all. No, I'm joking.
No. The people who don't.
He's specifically talking to you, Megan.
Like, heel of the week
I
for
don't know.
this
Ring of
show.
Honor Supercard. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
All right, we honor, yay!
The people the heels of the week for me is going to be the people who do not give these other promotions the respect and attention that they deserve, especially with these wrestlers, because they bust their ass to get to this point. And if you are on a card during WrestleMania weekend, the exposure and the eyes are going to be on there. These people and these other organizations that may not get as much, promo or hype or whatever it is, or attention that they deserve, compared to the major ones. You got to enjoy the product as a whole. And wrestling, I think right now is in a very good state as a whole. So many variations, so many flavors, so many different options that are available to you. And the people who fail to take advantage of that, whether we're watching it at home or even the people that's over there down in Texas, in Dallas, it's an atrocity if they don't take advantage and explore. So the people who don't want to do that, they're the heels of the week for me.
Yeah, I'm watching
wrestling
Spring Break
and
right
watch
now.
it. What'd you say, Chris?
I'm watching GCW right now, so
Big fact.
And then I'm going to be watching
Impact
Wrestling
Wrestling is on right now.
Just tune in anywhere. You've got something. All right, Blue. I know you're new to this with us, but I know you can come up with one. What's your heel of the week?
My heel of the week is the people that constantly take shots at AEW. Like,
Ty. This is the benefit of having 9 people on the screen. We can just blame each other.
Right. Because to me, it's like, first of all, it's like no point of picking sides. I'm not one of those people. Like I said earlier, I couldn't judge certain things in WWE because I stopped watching like 6 months ago. So I watch the pay-per-views and keep it moving, and I know exactly what's going to happen. So I can't judge what I don't watch. But yeah, like the whole AEW thing when Toni Storm debuted and everybody's like, oh, she's gonna end up like Ruby. Ruby had a great start, and you gotta understand that AEW does the rotation situation. I do agree that the women wrestling need more TV time and need more than one storyline. But when you look at it, AEW, that's the way they run they titles. Like everybody got a shot at the titles, and when they done with their time, they go back in the line. Like look at John Moxley. When was the last time he got a title shot?
Why does Adam Cole have another title shot then?
They got Jade.
Why did Thunder Rosa get another title shot?
Because it's all
Thunder
about
Rosa got
the
another.
boom.
Thunder Rosa didn't get another title shot. Time out. Pause. She won. She did get another title shot. It was her first title shot. And then
No,
what happened was
it was her second.
She was second because she got cheated the first time.
Back
there was
to
a
back.
storyline behind it.
But you just said they go to the back of the line.
What I'm saying is that when the
Cheated.
stories are done,
She
they go
immediately
back
got a
to the
number one
line.
contenders
If the
match after
stories are not
losing.
done, why are they? If their stories are not done, why are they going? If they're not, the stories are still continuing. In this case, Heyman Adam Page still got beef with Adam Cole, so that's why it's going to continue. What I'm saying
Cole,
is that
he beat Cole's ass in the middle of the ring.
and look, and Cole still antagonized him again. The storyline continues. My point is that there's a selective win. The storyline continues, and then when the storyline is done, you go to the back of the line. Point big and simple. There's a timeline. Let's be honest. From the moment that Britt Baker won the title, everybody knew that Thunder Rosa was going to beat her. So everybody that she defended against during that time got beat and put in the back of the line. When there's a storyline in place, follow the storyline. It's not that hard.
Hey, asterisk though, it should have been
Everybody
Jamie
make it
Hayter.
seem like
just
it's
saying.
rocket science. It's really not rocket science. It's
Hey,
better
I
than what
think-
WWE's doing when they give you the same 4 people with the titles. That's just my point. Like,
I like it. I like the point.
Let's
I
keep
like
it
the
100.
point.
Ruby Soho. Let's keep it 100. Ruby Soho. She had a great start. She went in the tournament. She did fine in the tournament. She's doing indie shows right now. So what she do? She went and recorded a whole lot of shit for Dark to give it the star power that it needs, and doing her indie shows. There's nothing wrong with that, because when it's time for her storyline to come up again, she'll be right back on TV. So for all the people that saying that, that Tony Storm is gonna end up like Ruby Soho, it's follow the product. You'll realize what's happening. Like
Well,
Bryan
it's all
Danielson
gonna
been on Dark.
It'll
Adam
all
Cole's been on
change.
Dark.
It'll all
Like-
change when Athena shows up, because Athena's showing up. When
I
Athena
know
shows
it.
up,
I don't think she is, man.
Like there's a
Okay.
I don't think
storyline.
she
Like
is.
if you follow TK, he writes things a year out. Like there's
That Rouse is
there's
too
reason for
bloated, bro.
everything.
That Rouse
Huh?
is too bloated.
Can I go
man.
next?
That Rouse
Bloated,
is
man.
too bloated.
okay.
Say, can I
It
go
is.
next?
They
I
need another
can't
show.
see.
They do
I
need
can't
another.
see.
They need another. They
Megan,
need something
take-
totally different.
What's next, Megan?
It's called
What's next?
ROH.
They wanted to go next. I can't see.
Yes.
Ty wanted to go next.
Fine.
So my heel of the week is the antithesis. Antithesis. There we go. I'm
Antithesis?
drinking wine.
Antithesis.
What
Right.
Blue just said, because my heel of the week is gonna be Tony Khan for
Ooh.
Yeah,
releasing these wrestlers without even talking to them,
That's corny. That is
reciting budget cuts like WWE. Because if you're going to give flack to them, you're going to give flack to him after signing talent after talent after talent. But you ain't got no more money to pay the people who started the stuff with you. No, you don't. Okay, that's cool. For having on paper the most talented women's roster and still being the Los Angeles Lakers.
You gotta go there.
Can I do a
You gotta go
like
there.
counter mine?
He's
Like
just a
counter mine.
millennial.
Can I
He
do-
fires
got
people
a
by
quick counter.
ghosting them.
Who name me any other
Hi.
wrestlers, any other
Hi.
wrestlers other than in the women's division, other than Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa that matter.
Nyla Rose.
Chris
Now
Statlander.
those matters.
She's on dark,
Layla-
man.
Layla
Jay
Hirsch.
content.
Really?
Jay
How much
content.
TV
Layla
stars
Hirsch,
has she got?
Chris Statlander, all the people.
We gotta
You know
keep
what,
going.
Ty?
Megan,
You're
Megan.
my heel of the week. My heel of the week was
I
gonna
haven't
be
done
Pete
one.
for making me talk about WWE so
I
much.
haven't done one yet.
Hold on, I had a quick. He got a chance to rebuttal mine. My rebuttal is there's a difference between budget cuts when you're losing money and budget cuts when you're making more than triple your money.
True that.
Big
I
facts.
agree with that.
And
That is
who's
big
gonna miss a Marco stunt match? Not me. I'll catch
And
that.
people was
shit in
complaining about
the
Marcus Stunt, and all of a sudden Marcus Stunt was the best wrestler that they had, right?
No, nobody cared about
Like
Marcus
y'all were
Stunt.
checking for
No, that's what
Marco.
people complain about now.
Yeah.
People was like, everybody's
Yeah.
complaining about Marco, like, oh, why you get rid of Marco? Y'all
Nobody
didn't like
cares.
him when he started.
Yeah,
Like, what
nobody
do you
cares about
mean?
Marco.
Back.
No, I'm talking about the lack of communication.
No,
if you're
I
supposed to be
agree with.
bigger than WWE, like you tout that everyone touts to
Marco
be,
got
you
talked
let go
to.
of
There was
Cody
a whole
'cause you didn't
podcast
wanna
about
pay.
how he had a big conversation. Nobody's sending him his shit in a duffel bag. I mean, not even duffel bag, in a trash bag.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking about what about
The
Cody?
ghosting part. The ghosting part is
About
is
Cody?
fantastic.
What about Cody?
Can I do my heel?
Oh my
Can't
God.
even pay
yes,
MJF
please.
now.
Can I do my heel of the
Cody
week, please?
just wanted
We
more
are
money and
so
couldn't get
far over. Nobody gets to talk about Cody. No Cody.
Let
There is
Kenny
no
go.
Cody.
I-
it.
Gee,
Did I-
who is your heel
Did-
of the week?
So I will try to be as quick as possible, but you'd asked me earlier, so I'll take
That's
a
what
quick,
she said.
I'll take a quick. Thank you, Kate. I'll take a quick point of privilege to let everybody know my 7-year-old Cam. I was gonna say Kane. My 7-year-old Cam.
I'm a child.
His Cheetah Mania card.
Okay.
Just wanted to quickly let you know, it is the New Day in a handicap match versus The Undertaker. It is a 10-man Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It is Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, Razor Ramon, RIP, versus Shawn Michaels, Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet, and X-Pac and Edge, X-Pac versus Edge, and Bianca versus Asuka. That is
Your son books better than
That sounds
That-
better than the
Yeah.
that
Paris.
is that is the card.
I'd rather watch that.
Ali, who is
I-
your heel of
I
the
will
week?
not. Oh yeah, I will not elaborate. But Will Smith and Julius Randle are my heels of the week. Will Smith and Julius Randle.
All right, Ali, who's your heel of the week?
My heel of the week is Shane McMahon. Go away, Shane McMahon. Don't ruin my WrestleMania weekend. Stop. I'm tired of like 50-year-old people insert. If there's any 50-year-old that I want in WrestleMania, it's The Rock. It's not Shane
Is it?
McMahon. But he's my heel of
To
the week.
quote the great Tony Khan, there is no Shane. So we can just move on from there. I think the only person that hasn't gone is Kane, right?
Ooh,
Right.
yes. Okay. My heels of the week are the South Carolina crowd at last night's AEW show, who was very, very weak and didn't really pop for Tony Storm like that. The crowd was very weak. They didn't pop for Tony Storm, although I can kind of understand because the majority of that crowd just got off of her OnlyFans page like mere hours ago. So
I was gonna
they're
say
probably very
it's like
tired,
pay to view,
very
so
exhausted.
some of them might not have known who.
Not a lot of energy left after going to her page, so they probably couldn't cheer a lot. You know.
Well, that's how we close the show, ladies and gentlemen, with an
Right.
OnlyFans reference.
Right.
Elliot, really quickly, what is a WrestleMania match for us to go back and revisit?
WrestleMania 21, Anaheim, California. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels.
My guy, yes.
They went 27 minutes. It was the longest show on the card. There wasn't a great, I don't really remember it, but from my research, there wasn't a great build up to this match. But they told
What do you mean?
In the weeks leading up.
Kurt. We got sexy Kurt out of that.
Was that what it was? Okay. But the story they told in the ring for 27 minutes, 49 seconds, unbelievable. The ankle lock that seemingly was never going to end. Shawn Michaels sold that tap so well. He started to bring his hand down, stopped it. Those two guys knew what they were doing. And amazingly, Kurt Angle went on to a Hall of Fame career in TNA after that. He really is one of the better ones of our generation that I don't think gets quite enough love. Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. Go back and watch it. It's a banger.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Triple H. Thinking about you, Triple H.
Yes, Triple H. Boo. Sad. Shovel. Throne.
Thinking about him.
Just like saying words that I feel like sledgehammer. I don't know.
I really hope that Triple H's hospital bed, by the way, Triple H hospital, you spell it with 3 H's for hospital for Triple H. But I really hope that his hospital bed was like a throne, like with like skulls on it.
Shout out to Triple H. He will be missed. He's a true legend.
Yeah.
It wasn't a true hospital visit unless Stone Cold shows up and hits you in the head with a bedpan. So I hope that he had that full experience. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's all gentlemen. I'm the lady. But we don't end the show until there's the 3 count. And Blue, I feel like this is something you might be good at. Can you count us out? It's 3 hits to the mat. Let's go.
I'm not gonna go fast like some people. 1, 2, 3.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you next week. Peace.